Welcome to A Friend of Mine, a series of conversations with some incredible and inspiring women in business from regional and rural Australia. I'm Kimberly Finesse, your host and the founder and editor of Oak Magazine, and I cannot wait to introduce you to some amazing female entrepreneurs who will share with you their experience and knowledge of what it takes to start, grow and scale a successful business. So let me introduce you to a friend of mine. Mother of three, farmer and businesswoman Claire Morgan is making her mark on Rupanyup. She's giving people more reasons to visit the country town located on the Great Silo Art Trail. In a town with a population of less than 400 people, Claire started the business 10 years ago now to give back to the community and create a place where locals could come together. Rupanyup Living is filled with a beautiful collection of homewares, clothing, accessories and local produce. You can also taste the flavour of Rupanyup thanks to the creation of Claire's delicious brownies using local chickpea flour. In this episode, Claire talks about giving back to her community, how she navigated COVID without footsteps through the shop door, connecting with her community through Instagram, collaborating with Robert Gordon Pottery, and her big plans for 2022. Meet my friend Claire from Rupanyup Living. Hello, Claire, and happy Rural Women's Day.
Hi, Kimberly, and thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh, it's good to talk to you. Let's go back to the beginning and tell us how you came to open Rupanyup Living.
Yeah. Well, it all began by opportunity, I believe, and timing. Rupanyup Living would never have happened if I hadn't moved to Rupanyup with my husband and three children in 2009. We purchased a farm at Rupanyup and we absolutely love the community and everything that it offers. It offers a great opportunity for us to go out on our own and start a farming business on, broadacre cropping and raise our children on the land. So it's been amazing. But there was one thing missing for me, was the opportunity to shop in town locally and I guess a place to gather and get to know people and shop local and connect and have those conversations. So Rupanyup Living basically was started because of that's what I wanted to see in our town and bring people together. And I wanted to meet people as well. I'm quite a people person. I love meeting people and chatting and that offered that, I suppose, having the gift shop. It's a great place to get to know people as well. So that is basically how Rupanyup Living started. And I guess I wanted to give back to our community. It had been through years of drought, actually. We brought the farm at the end of 2009, a stint of droughts anyway and bad seasons. And the town was tired and people were moving away and selling up to the neighbours and that sort of thing was happening. So a decline in the community was happening quite rapidly. So we moved and brought a farm and I opened a gift shop, which is really
as you do.
A strange thing to do. Yeah.
You make it sound so easy.
Well, I don't know. It's not complicated. My business is not complicated, and that's what I love about it, and I think that's why it works for me. Being a farmer as well and having three kids, it's busy and the business just works. It's a simple business model and, it's about connection. It's about having a place for people to gather, to shop locally. And I love nothing more than gift wrapping beautiful gifts and having beautiful brands to offer my community and rural people wanting to shop local and putting a smile on people's face. So it's a way to give back to the community, basically. So I have built the business alongside a very small community, and it just works.
Yeah. Now, rural communities, as you've mentioned, Rupanyup's 300 to 400 people?
That's right.
Yeah. What is their superpower? What is so special about small, tiny towns?
It's a welcoming feeling that you get when you move to a small community. I think they're very supportive. Everyone knows each other. You come in. We were lucky that we had young children, so straight away it was straight into kinder and school. So we were lucky. We met a lot of other young families with kids, so that was good for us. And the stage of our life where we were at. Just a friendly face and belonging and comfort, I think, is probably the main thing.
Yep. What do you think, though, the challenges are then living outside of Metro?
I've only ever lived in Melbourne for 1 year, and I'm a rural girl, so I love rural living and everything that has to offer. So, poor internet connection's been really hard to grow a business, and the distance to travel to market to sell our product or market. We'll get into the extension of the farm, but the brownies that we package now. So, yeah, definitely distance and the lack of people, the lack of footsteps.
Yeah.
I say to people, it's all about footsteps through the shop door, and that has its challenge, and the population's decline, farmers getting bigger and that sort of thing. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Well, what has it been like? What has business been like this year with travelling so restricted? So we just haven't had that influx of interstate travellers or even metro coming into country. What have you done to keep sales coming through?
Well, we've gone online quite a few years ago. About 5 years ago, we started our website. So that has been really good for us in this, 2 years of COVID and lockdowns and the lack of people coming out to our region, because we do really rely on tourism. I will explain that we're on the art trail. So we're in Rupanyup, and that's the Wimmera, and we're on a silo art trail. So we get a lot of tourists that come up to the Grampians and then branch out into the beautiful Wimmera to see our silos and experience that those flat plains of beautiful sunsets and that sort of thing. So there's been not a lot of tourists for the last 2 years, which has been extremely difficult. What have I done to... It's been challenging, Kimberly, because I've got 3 kids that I'm homeschooling as well. So with lockdowns, I talk to other women in business and they're like, yeah, it's a time to, get all my ideas together and, plan new projects and things like that. Well, for me, I found it quite challenging. I was just overwhelmed with everything. And I couldn't think. I basically just shut down and just had to focus on the kids and the farm and keeping everyone safe and all that. So I sort of, for the first few weeks, I didn't achieve much at all. I'm a deep thinker and I worry about people. So I really started worrying about my customers, how they were doing, because, I haven't got this connection. I've lost that. I've had to shut the doors and that sort of thing. So I got myself together and we started taking more photos and got more active on the website and, and social media and things like that. So I'm like, Claire, you can connect. This is Instagram and you have a website, and that's, people build businesses with these platforms, like get going again. That, yes, I did start the business because it was about the community and people coming to my community and coming to the town and visiting and that. But I did realise with COVID that I had to push myself to work on the website, which I'm not good at IT. I dislike it, but I got the help I needed. So, we started creating beautiful hampers that we do and just sharing. I guess I went back to the landscape from where I live and started sharing that as well, as it wasn't all about product, and it was about beautiful homewares and gifts, but I wanted to share where we live and what we do on the farm as well. And that was a nice thing. I had a customer say, "Thank you so much for sharing that video of me walking down a straight road on our farm, on the edge of our farm." And she just said that was just beautiful, like she really needed that. She was locked down in Melbourne, and then I found with COVID, like I wasn't able to scale the business with the brownies. Chickpea flour brownies is a extension of the farm, so another side of the business, Rupanyup Living home and giftwares, and then the extension of the farm and that business is our chickpea flour brownies. So we created that because people were coming to town and visiting the silos, and there was nothing. There was no cafe or milk bar, or you couldn't get coffee or anything like that. So I decided to put a little coffee machine in the shop so people could have a coffee and a brownie. And at that time, some great go-getters in our town were sort of pitching the town as a town with pulse. So I'm like, I want to be part of this. This is fantastic. I want to meet more people. I want to bring people to our region. I want to share what we grow. I want to be part of this. So a friend who was milling flour at the time said, "Claire, I'm milling this flour. It's amazing. Here's some, have a play, see what you come up with." So I realised that chickpea flour doesn't like self-raising flours, and it turned out that it was a chocolate brownie that worked beautifully. So we started sharing that with our customers and cooking it every day that I go into the shop, and everyone's like, "This is amazing." And it's just so then I thought, I really need to package this. This is, this is a great product, and I need to package it. And in mind that I wanted to share what we grow, but also the next generation, like teach people, I suppose, where their food's from and that sort of thing. So it was just something different. There wasn't a lot of gluten-free sort of products on the market because we do hampers and things like that, and I was being asked for gluten-free products. So there was a gap in the market. I jumped into that.
So I could really relate to you using your Instagram to take your followers on this journey and showing them your community. As you said, you've got these Melbourne people who are surrounded by concrete. I suppose one great thing about COVID living in regional rural is that we've got space, we've got nature, and I suppose for some people, to walk through a canola field or walk down a road with no houses on the side or anything like that would really, it'd be just like a breath of fresh air. Like I could just feel that release as they're watching that. So I think you should do more of that, Claire. Show more of the beautiful community that you live in, because whilst many of us can't travel, we can through you. And I suppose that's a beautiful segue into what Rupanyup is known for, and that's pulses, isn't it? So, how have you showcased the region? What have you created to really highlight who and what Rupanyup is?
Yeah, I think with living on the farm, I've been able to show the beauty and nature, of the region, and I'm really passionate about that because growing up in rural Australia and on the land, we are lucky to have that space, and I'm forever grateful of the path we're taking and where we live. So I've been able to share that, and I'm just I love it. We've also, been able to bring people together through what we grow with the food, with the packaging of the brownies. It's a beautiful, decadent chocolate brownie made from chickpea flour, and chickpeas are grown on our farm and in our region. So, yeah, I've been able to take or give people the flavour of Rupanyup, I suppose. I like to use that term. And
it's better than a fridge magnet. Yeah. I mean,
it is a beautiful gift, and I love it. And that's so true. We do sell so many chickpea brownie mixes. When people come into the shop, they get to taste it and they're like, oh, got to take that home and cook up later and or share with as a gift. So just, living where we live and growing what we grow is a passion of mine that, I want to share. And we're doing that with food and bringing people together. I mean, cooking and, growing up with a family of cooks and mum in the CWA and granny in the CWA, I was always surrounded by amazing cooks. And, from an early age, I knew that food brings people together. Mum would always have sticky jars full and slices, there in case the neighbours turned up and dropped in for a cuppa. So it's a really lovely thing to be able to do in the shop, in the boutique store. So I love it. I love making people smile and gift wrapping beautiful gifts and, sharing our brownies.
Yeah. And I suppose when we can travel, we're coming up to the next set of school holidays. That Silo Art Trail is absolutely incredible through Victoria and even just over to South Australia, I think it is sometimes, or maybe it's as far as Coniva. Yeah, it's just stunning. And, to be able to stop and experience each small town, I think that is a way for us to give back as tourists. So if we were to visit Rupanyup, of course we're going to stop in your store, but what other things are around? What else can we do there?
Yeah, like we've got a beautiful caravan park where people can stay, and it's on a little bit of water on the Billabong, which is beautiful. That's run by volunteers at the Lions Club. We've got a farm machinery museum. So everything that you could possibly think of old machines from farms to tins to everything, the baker, the butcher, the boot maker, everything old is in this massive museum at Rupanyup. And we have people travel to Rupanyup to see that from all over Australia, and a lot of groups come and visit that and visit the silos as well. There's a beautiful walking track called Jack's Track. We've got another girl who's just opened a caravan who's offering coffee and pulse sort of foods. And, I think what I always say to people that you have to stop. You have to get out of your car and kick around the dirt and go for a walk and meet people and chat to the locals and taste the flavour of Rupanyup with our brownies. So, there's beautiful wood carvings up the main street now as well. So that's another thing to have a look at. And I find that people just love to look at the old buildings. Mm-hmm. They love to just chat to some locals and, go and have a look at the silo, obviously, and read about that. They've got a rotunda there now with some information. They've actually put up photos of different crops so people can, as they're driving along, they can see the crops and then know what crop looks like and what that is. So, lots to do and lots of other small towns around Rupanyup. So, also you've got the stick shed at Matoa. That's only 10 minutes away. And then you've got other silos, Sheep Hills, and the Grampians are only sort of 40 minutes from Rupanyup. So
Yeah, there's so much to do in Halls Gap or even the Grampians as such. So,
that's right.
yeah, little day trips everywhere. Now, what I have seen on your Instagram, I know you've said you've, sort of had probably a slow growth this year. There was something massive though, and that was a collaboration with Robert Gordon Pottery. Can you
I know.
tell me a little bit about that? How did it come about? What does it involve?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not one to really talk about myself too much, but this is a bit exciting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Robert Gordon, a master, ceramist and stoneware maker, has made us a beautiful bowl because I just felt that it was 10 years in business and 10 years of stocking beautiful wares for our community and customers from Robert Gordon. And like we were talking about before, Kimberly, our beautiful landscape and where we live, I was doing a lot of thinking about how I could come up with something more of my own. And there was something missing with the brownies being such, cooking and that sort of thing. And the bowl was the missing piece, I suppose. So we got to work with Robert Gordon. We went down to the factory and met all like his family, and some of the designers worked with me to come in with what we wanted. So basically gave them a mood board of our colours and our country living and some photos of the farm. And I said, it really neat, and it does beautifully. It's a classic style. It's inspired by the country surrounding us and the nature. And it's a centerpiece. It's a piece that will stand the test of time. It's a vessel that can be used to mix our brownies, but make a beautiful salad or be used as a salad bowl. It matches any home kitchen decor. But the main thing for me is getting back to that connection and that conversation and making memories through cooking and food and sharing that in the kitchen with your loved ones. That's something that I'm really leaning heavily towards and wanting to create more beautiful products that will sit nicely with our brownies and the Robert Gordon bowl. That is just absolutely beautiful. And it was all about timing, I guess. And forever grateful for the team at Robert Gordon that showed interest in my product, my brownies. I sent them a few packs, and the story, of being a farmer and wanting to highlight what we grow in our region and bring people to my community and promote my town as the town with pulse. Not only we grow pulses, but this town has people with real pulses, and we're all passionate about seeing our town survive. And he just took a great interest in that and was more than happy to create this bowl together. So,
yeah. Oh, so very lucky. And I think you've actually launched it at the most perfect time. As you said, there's so many of us, if COVID's taught us anything, it's the importance of making memories, especially with our kids. Look, I hate the kitchen. I absolutely despise it. I think the kitchen hates me. But I have spent more time in there over COVID and same thing. Pulled out Nan's CWA recipe book. I'm not sure she knows I have it, but I'm not giving it back. So and just going through some of those really old school classic recipes and talking about stuff like that, this is, instead of just buying the box off the shelf at the supermarket, I think even with your brownies, Claire, like we're purchasing that and there's a story, as you said, to be told behind it. Like it almost serves as a little mini school lesson to the kids.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, I guess being in the shop as well, Kimberly, I'm able to talk to our customers about that. They're taking a vanilla brownie or the mint. So there's actually flavours. So there's the original, and then there's the vanilla, there's the mint and the chili and the dark chocolate. And then we've also developed a new recipe, which is the blondie, and it's an original blondie with white chocolate, and it has a really nutty, earthy flavour. You can really taste the chickpea in that one more so than the dark chocolate. And we've also developed a chai flavour brownie as well.
Oh my gosh.
We launched that one at the end of last year, just before Christmas, and it was a huge hit over Christmas with people adding pistachios and cranberries for Christmas. So it has that beautiful ginger and chai flavours that, delicious. So,
oh my gosh. Well, I have tried your traditional ones, your chocolate ones, but and this is the thing, I get on a good thing and I don't explore any further than that. So I'm going to have to try. I'm a big white chocolate fan, so the white chocolate, and I don't know, the whole chili has me intrigued. So
chili chocolate has been really popular because we stock a lot of wineries and it goes beautiful with their red wine, their Shiraz. So the chili is delicious on a platter served cold, where the best way to have brownies is straight out the oven, by the way, with some cream. But the wineries are serving it cold on platters, and it goes really nice with their Shiraz. So,
oh my gosh, who would have thought a brownie and wine rather than wine and cheese? Like, oh my gosh.
You've got to have chocolate on a platter, and our brownie just sits perfectly with that market, and the chili does really well around Hall Gap as well. So
yeah. Well, now you've said you've been in business for 10 years. What's next for Rupanyup Living then? What's the next 10 years look like?
I have just absolutely loved this collaboration experience with Robert Gordon. So it's just been amazing. And we were meant to launch that, by the way, in September, and that didn't happen because of COVID. But I twisted and turned, and now everyone is receiving their bowls by coming to Rupanyup Living during my business hours and picking up the bowls. So that's all turned out okay. It was pretty stressful, but what is next is more collaboration, more working with like-minded people that share similar values, and perhaps it sounds silly, but I want to do more events. Even though we didn't get to do the event in September, I really want to do events or some sort of big long table in the paddock on the farm, and bring a chef that can cook with our pulses, make savoury dishes, as well as cook up my chocolate brownie and turn it into something amazing. So I think ice cream. So perhaps we might look at doing some chocolate ice cream and packaging that even. So if you come to Rupanyup Living over summer, you might be able to try a tub of vanilla ice cream.
What a great
and our
idea.
brownie crumbled through it or something like that. So,
oh my gosh. That sounds amazing. Oh, summer come at me. But I love the idea of more events. I know that we have a mutual friend in common who is Georgie from the Paper Daisy over in Donald. I know that she's really keen for events as well. Let's hope that something plays out where we can actually do this and all get together and celebrate with people without masks even. That would be amazing. Now, to wrap us up, can you tell me about a friend of yours that we need to know about?
I am inspired by some amazing women in business that I just look up to and I think are doing amazing things, and women that support women, yourself, included. Like, you just do such an amazing job. You really do shout out and support women in business so well. So there's all those women out there that I just admire and want to thank for their support and encouragement, because being in business on my own is really hard. I have my accountant basically to talk to and my husband, and So Johanna from Warwicknabil, who's just up the road, who has pink nade. She's, a very supportive lady in business, and we have Georgie over at Donald. There's lots of creative people that I've connected with over the years that I've been in business that I'm so grateful and lucky to have met. And it's all those connections and conversations that, hopefully other opportunities will come up that we'll, do more collaborations, and things will keep on ticking along alongside my community in a small rural town of Rupanyup.
Yeah,
so,
making magic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being a guest, Claire. And I'll be sure to drop into Rupanyup Living soon. I do travel quite frequently from Bendigo to Horsham to visit family. So yeah, I will. As you said, people have to stop, not go from point A to point B. We've got to put a rest of the alphabet in between it, I think, and come and enjoy these towns.
Definitely, and they can visit the website before they come along and double check on Instagram to make sure we're open on those days, and plan your trip around the days that I'm open, because I'll have fresh brownies and coffee ready for your arrival.
Sounds delicious. All right. Thank you, Claire.
Thanks for having me, Kimberly. Great to chat.
Now, before you take off with all that inspiration and knowledge, we'd love for you to leave a review on our podcast so that we can continue to amplify women's voices in the media. And if you have any questions, we'd like to celebrate a win, you can always connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Oak Magazine AU. I'm so glad we've met and that now you know a friend of mine.